Today, we're going to hear from Logan Parks with the Arkansas Resource Conservation and Development Council, ARC&D. Before we start, I want to share how to access the Q&A box where you can type your questions for our live question and answer segment at the end of the program. You see the red arrows there with step one. You click on that Q&A, and then you can follow the arrows there where you actually type your question in and then click send. And that will help us keep track of any questions that come in during the presentation so we can answer those live and also keep those recorded within Zoom for any future viewers. So please enter your questions in that Q&A section anytime during our presentation. Logan Parks has had several roles within ARC&D. Logan started with the company overseeing one of their previous programs and transitioned to their media and development team in 2022. Logan has a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Arkansas Fort Smith and a Master's of Science from Northeastern State University. When he is not working, Logan enjoys spending time hiking, kayaking, and exploring with his Australian Shepherds. He was born and raised in Alaska, and the beauty of Arkansas still takes his breath away when he finds a new hiking trail. For any questions about ARC&D, you can email Logan at should have the email address popped up there in the chat, but it's media@arkansasrcd.com. And remember to type those questions in the Q&A box, and we'll get to those at the end of our presentation. So now Logan will tell us about ARC&D, how they serve our communities, and about their partnership with NRCS. Logan, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here really quick, and that way we can hop right into my presentation. I am super excited to join everybody today. Excuse me. My name is Logan Parks. I work with the Arkansas Resource Conservation and Development Council. My contact info is on the screen and in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to me. I love to chit chat and meet new people around Arkansas. So let's hop right into it. And I'm super excited to talk about ARC&D and what the Arkansas Resource Conservation and Development Council does around Arkansas. So I first want to talk about why does it matter? So Arkansas is a state rich in natural resources, and agriculture is one of the largest industries, contributing almost $16 billion to the state's economy. And a lot of these farms that's part of this agriculture business are family-owned farms. 97% of farms in Arkansas are family farms. And Arkansas land use, the agriculture and forestry, uses more than 95% of Arkansas's land resources. So it's a very big aspect of Arkansas. And with that comes some challenges. So Arkansas is ranked second highest in food insecurity in the nation, and there's a lack of knowledge about conservation districts and NRCS initiatives across the state. So ARC&D can serve as a good bridge between these entities and these community partners. So what are RC&D councils? They focus on resource conservation and development, and they are across the country, and they do lots of different things. So Arkansas RC&D, we are a nonprofit organization, and we are designed to address natural resource conservation, promote economic development, and improve quality of life in communities. So, for example, one of our projects that we're working on are our free little pantry initiatives. So we upcycle old newspaper dispensers, and we partner with sites, we partner with donors, and we have created a system of take what you need, leave what you can food pantries. This started with a different organization, and we kind of took it and ran with it, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. But that's an example of how ARC&D is helping communities across the state and how each RC&D council is different from state to state. So I'd like to chit chat a little bit about one of our previous programs we have. This was filmed in 2022, and we no longer are affiliated with this program. We don't have this in our portfolio anymore, but this is just an example of what RC&Ds can do given opportunities. So let's take a peek at this video. My name is Logan Parks. I am the operations officer for Full Circle Farm Corps. I oversee the program and we focus on fighting food insecurity in Arkansas. So we have three different pillars. We focus on farming, outreaching, and teaching. So community gardens, community outreach programs, and community education revolving around nutrition. So Full Circle Farm Corps is a partnership with ARC&D and Engage Arkansas. Engage Arkansas oversees all of the AmeriCorps programs in the state of Arkansas, and Full Circle Farm Corps is a proud AmeriCorps program. I started with Full Circle Farm Corps almost 2 years ago now, and I started kind of as just like a side gig almost. A couple years ago, I was a contract worker for a partner with ARC&D for the Sebastian County Conservation District, did some media stuff, and then from there I made connections with ARC&D, and I'm super happy to be a part of ARC&D and Full Circle Farm Corps. We have grown a lot in the past year, and I'm excited to see where we continue to grow. ARC&D is kind of a catalyst for communities because there's 7 different councils across the state of Arkansas. So we can partner with different host sites and different nonprofits, and we place service members, and these service members go out and they focus on the 3 pillars of farming, outreach, and teaching.
I'm Andy Sheppy. I'm the urban coordinator at Sebastian County Conservation District, and it's been amazing. It's been something really rewarding. I just enjoy everything about it, like being able to do the community outreach. I love being able to donate the food directly to the shelters. I love being able to teach the people about the gardening and everything that goes into it. We're partnering with Full Circle Farm Corps again with our site. And so I have a site at the Community Rescue Mission downtown. And it's a homeless shelter that's dedicated strictly for families and getting them back up on their feet. So when I first did Full Circle Farm Corps 2 years ago, that site was a smaller one that I took care of. And when I was first there, I was like, they have this whole plot that they could be using. So now 2 years later, now that I've got the grant going on, I am currently expanding from that small little fencing area to the 2 acres that they have. I want to have a food forest. We currently got 2 50 by 50 plots. And so it's just really good community outreach out there. And I just really like it. So ARC&D has sites all over the state of Arkansas, and we continue to expand, which is super cool to see that we started in central Arkansas, we moved to western Arkansas, now we're in northwest Arkansas, and we're continuing to grow. We don't want to limit ourselves to one area of Arkansas because every single county in Arkansas is a food desert. So that means that it's really hard for Arkansans to have access to fresh, nutritious foods. So with the help of ARC&D and Full Circle and other host sites and partners, we can help fight food insecurities.
Awesome. So like I said, that was one of our previous projects. And I would like to brag on Anna coming up this video. She started as a service member with Full Circle Farm Corps, and now she's doing awesome things. So let's just take a peek at how ARC&D and Full Circle and AmeriCorps, our previous programs and projects, how that helped jumpstart Anna's career.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Sawyer, and I am currently the Community Garden Coordinator for the City of North Little Rock. Also a Full Circle Farm Corps alumni. I moved to Arkansas in 2020 to serve with the COVID relief program. And I had the opportunity to serve in Central Arkansas with the City of North Little Rock and the UALR Campus Community Garden. When I was introduced to Full Circle and moved out here, I was introduced to a really passionate community that's dedicated to addressing food insecurity. Through these connections, I developed partnerships with nonprofits, local community organizers, and other government programs. And it really put me in a position of success for where I'm at right now. It allowed me to continue developing those connections and partnerships to continue addressing food insecurity in a multitude of ways. Full Circle Farm Corps is managed by Engage AR, and that partnership for all of us has been incredibly beneficial. All of us this year and several other AmeriCorps programs in the state participated in their Little Free Pantry program, which is basically we refurbished old newspaper boxes. They were adopted by community groups or members, and they're continually stocked with non-perishable food items and hygiene supplies. So in addition to us growing fresh and nutritious produce, we've also made other opportunities for food access available in our city. So back in college, I studied environmental studies in Spanish and was really, really active in food systems on site. So I had managed a college food cooperative and also worked on our campus farm. Spent a little bit of time working on a cacao farm in Costa Rica, and miraculously landed in Arkansas with this incredible opportunity to focus on my urban agricultural skills. So learning how to grow produce large and small scale in urban settings, which is different than a rural farm or a rural grow house in a different country. So Full Circle really gave me the stepping stone to land the position that I'm in now. It gave me greenhouse management skills, cultivation and harvesting skills, seed starting skills, in addition to administrative skills, curating partnerships, managing grants. So definitely credit Full Circle Farm Corps with where I am today.
Awesome. So just another example of a previous project we used to work on. What ARC&D is focusing on now, we are continuing to expand our Free Little Pantry project, and we work on media campaigns and tree education. So a lot of our media campaigns are on our social media channels. So if you're not following Arkansas ARC&D on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, now's your chance. Follow us, see what we're up to. And let's chit chat a little bit more about another previous project that we just finished up. We focused on documenting some food insecurity and how NRCS, their efforts are combating those across the state of Arkansas. So this was a short documentary media project funded through the National Association of Conservation Districts. And we were tasked with showcasing efforts across the state of Arkansas. I'm going to show a little clip here. It's a little bit long, so I don't want to take up our whole presentation watching Roots. And this focuses on Antioch in Fort Smith, Arkansas, but the extended and the full version of Roots focuses on how NRCS, how they help combat food insecurity, or how they previously focused on that as well. So let's take a peek at Antioch and see what they were up to.
We have community distribution events. Our annual one is Thanksgiving in the Park. Typically, this is the event that we sit out at K. Rogers Park, and we pass out food to the community. We served about 2,661 families, which is about 9,200 individuals. And one of the things that we had when we were setting up is there was a woman, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning that she had pulled up and parked her car out there. The event didn't start until 10 o'clock. So, we're sitting trying to set up our produce, trying to set up our stations to serve everyone. And we see these cars lined up and this woman who didn't have food. And, what we did was we made sure that, she got some additional food there, because for someone to come out at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning and sit there until 10, that shows you right there just how the food insecurity struggle is happening. And Arkansas is one of the worst states that has when it comes to combating food insecurity. And it seems like we're always combating it. We've had a lack of donors, had a lack of product. We've seen a decrease since post-COVID. And the food prices just seem to go up. They seem to go up. And it's not just hitting all of course, poverty line citizens. It's hitting everyone. Everyone's hurting out there when it comes to food. Spend almost $100 at a department store, and what is it? 7 items. 7 items. I can't even imagine how people are feeding their families these days.
That was just a quick snippet of Roots. Like I said earlier, the extended version talks about NRCS initiatives and efforts, so take a peek. That's hosted on our YouTube page. All right, so we currently are working on a project that is helping with education and outreach campaigns. So this is a partnership with the Arkansas Department of Agriculture, and it's helping teach people the importance of native trees and pollinators in Arkansas. This project just started, so we're just getting boots in the ground, but we've partnered with some parks and some different public spaces in Fort Smith, teaching people the importance of trees and pollinators and native plants. And these will be posted as well to our social media channels coming up. So that's exciting stuff coming up. And I'd like to talk about a little bit how the framework of RC&Ds are, how that looks like. So RC&D councils were established in the Agriculture Act of 1962, and they were placed within the Department of Agriculture Natural Resource Conservation Service, or NRCS. So we live in the NRCS world, and there is a national RC&D council, and then there's state councils, and then there's area councils. So there's a lot of different ways that RC&Ds can partner with community members, whether that's at a small area council, a state council, or at a national level. And over here, I have a picture of Hannah Evans. She used to be associated with RC&D, and now she is still out there killing it, doing awesome things with farms up in Northwest Arkansas. So RC&D, in my experience, has been a really great way for people to jumpstart their careers, transition from one career to another career, and figure out what that looks like in their professional life. So conservation districts are a great partnership. They are, RC&Ds are local agencies that work to conserve natural resources and support local communities. So that can look different from council to council and state to state. So what does it look like with RC&Ds and NRCS, the National Resource Conservation Services? So NRCS helps private landowners conserve natural resources. So that could be through conservation districts or state and local governments or rural and urban citizens. And ARC&D partners with district conservationists, resource and wetland conservationists, soil conservationists, engineers, soil scientists. The opportunities for partnerships are almost limitless when it comes to RC&Ds. So it's a great partnership to work with NRCS and RC&Ds. Like I said earlier, it was ARC&Ds, not just Arkansas, but RC&Ds in general, were established in the 60s as a part of a national initiative by the USDA to promote locally led conservation. And so, like I kind of talked about, focusing in Arkansas is, resource depletion, food insecurity. RC&D councils have a lot of freedom with the projects that they focus on. And in the 80s and 90s, the whole evolution, ARC&D, expanded focus to include environmental education and rural economic development. And then in the early 2000s, began addressing food insecurity through community gardens. And now in the 2020s, we're focusing on a media landscape and trying to tell stories and get the word out about initiatives and stuff like that through social media. And why do they matter? I mean, each RC&D chooses what is important to them and the communities that they serve. And so we focus on food insecurity because it's a pretty high capita, but the agricultural landscape is always changing. And so we want to, expand outreach and media innovation and really focus on communities and help them grow. So how is there a way to get involved? There's always a way to get involved. You can, if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, if you want to promote about ARC&Ds, there's all sorts of stuff, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. Send me an email, call me, follow us on Facebook, and we can always find an opportunity for people to get involved. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I would love to open up the floor to any questions we have. Oh, Lee, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
That's okay. I can hear you now.
Thanks for that wealth of information you shared with us, Logan. I am excited to learn more about your program, and with that, let's get into this the Q&A. Got a handful of questions, and hopefully, as we get into the questions, we might prompt some more from the audience. Audience, feel free to ask any questions as we go along. First up here, Logan, um, what if a, different nonprofit organization might want to partner with you guys? How can they do that?
Oh yeah. ARC&D is always looking for partnership opportunities with nonprofits or for-profit entities. So they can definitely reach out if they have a project in the landscape. Reach out to us and see if what we can do. And if we can't partner with them, maybe we can help find them partners that can help get their project going.
Yeah. So this is probably maybe part personal towards you. Take it however you want. What's your favorite thing about ARC&D?
Oh man, every day looks different. I can go check out a different conservation district, or I can go look at a different community garden. I have learned so much about just Arkansas in general, but also specifically gardening and urban gardening within my role here. So I think my favorite thing is that literally every week I'm learning something new, and that's pretty cool.
Great. So this is the Arkansas Conservation Partnership webinar series. So let's focus a little on that conservation. What work does what kind of conservation work does ARC&D do? I know you highlighted some of that in some of the videos, but tell us a little more about the conservation efforts that you guys support.
Yeah, absolutely. So historically, it's kind of been a partnership. So we partner with conservation districts, like we've partnered with the Sebastian County Conservation District often, and not necessarily me, boots on the ground, but we can help people get boots in the ground and, really just build that partnership and help create a bigger impact.
So with the you guys working so much with NRCS, you've got to have some educational resources that you provide, right? So what kind of public resources do you guys have?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now we're really focused on social media because we have found that conservationists are awesome at doing their jobs and they are out there doing amazing things, but not necessarily telling their stories. And we think that's very important to hear what's going on in the conservation world out in Arkansas. So that's kind of what we're focused on right now with social media. But if people are interested in print materials or whatever educational materials, I'd be happy to hook them up with resources.
Great. So I know you're in Fort Smith and you highlighted some projects in Northwest Arkansas, and I heard North Little Rock mentioned at one point in time, but what other projects are you involved in around the state?
Yeah, so we're based in Fort Smith, and we have had garden sites all across Arkansas. We have an upcoming project that I don't want to speak too much about, but we will be seeing a lot of Arkansas and partnering with a lot of different conservation districts. So, although we're based in Fort Smith, we are statewide, and we have councils active across the state. Some more active than others, but ARC&D can be everywhere in Arkansas, which is also exciting. So we have lots of cool stuff coming up.
Nice. What kind of work do you do with rural fire?
Yeah, so that used to be a previous, and that was a previous program with ARC&D that I honestly don't know much about. My wheelhouse was the garden and focusing on that program, but historically ARC&D did have a rural fire program that I'd be happy to share info with after I get briefed on it because I stay in my wheelhouse. I stay in my lane on that one.
I understand that. This one's another one kind of focused at you. What's been the most satisfying project that you yourself have worked on?
Oh, I really did have a soft spot for Full Circle Farm Core. That's kind of what got me started with ARC&D. And I think my favorite part of that previous partnership was that we got to see people start their career. Some people never had any experience with gardening, and that was totally fine as long as that fit with the spot and the host site there. So, and I also love keeping in contact with people on social media and following them and seeing what their career looks like from starting in a garden and seeing what they're doing now. So I think the connection part of my job is my favorite part.
Great. You mentioned a lot about nonprofit organizations that you work with, but what about other organizations? Are you only working with nonprofits, or is anybody else wants to partner or maybe has an idea of something they want to do?
Yeah, historically we've only partnered with nonprofits, but I wouldn't see that there is not a opportunity to partner with for-profits or other people like that. So I think that partnerships across the board, we're always looking to see if it fits in our wheelhouse, and if we fit in your wheelhouse, I think that that would be a great opportunity for partnerships.
Great. How about goals and any uh, upcoming projects that you guys, you might have some stuff that you can't talk about yet based on the answer to some of those other questions, but maybe tell us about what some of the future goals and plans for ARC&D are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the background of the board and my background, we have a lot of experience in media, and I could see that that could be a really big shift. I mean, still in the conservation world, but telling the stories of these people out there doing awesome things, awesome work, help, and really telling their stories. So I think that could be an opportunity for ARC&D in the future, is to become really good storytellers.
Great. I got maybe one more question here. Yeah, this is this is similar to one that you answered already, but that's specific to Arkansas. Are there any concerns in Arkansas that you guys are addressing, like, soil erosion or water quality or anything like that?
Yeah, so we partner with Sebastian County Conservation District, and they're doing good things with their water quality right now. So I'm not too familiar with the water quality side of things, but ARC&D has partnered with projects like that, and I think there's always opportunity to partner with more and to focus on projects like that.
Awesome. I really appreciate your time, Logan. We've got some time left if any of the audience has any other questions. We're we're at the end of the questions that I've got for you. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Any other notes or tidbits of wisdom about ARC&D?
Those are great questions. Thank you for throwing those my way. I'm glad that we had those. That I think that ARC&D could be a catalyst for communities. I think that the ARC&D is very unique in the NRCS world, all about partnerships, all about communities and connecting communities. So I think that there's always potential for those building blocks. And I look forward to creating those and figuring out what the next one could be.
Thanks, Logan. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions, and with that, I think we might go ahead and wrap this up. This will be recorded, and you've got Logan's contact information. We'll try and get the recording out to everybody soon, so you can share it with anyone that might not have been able to join live. And please, as he has already mentioned, feel free to reach out with any questions or potential projects that you might be interested in working with him on. And I want to thank everyone. Logan, again, thanks so much for joining us today for the Arkansas Resource Conservation and Development Council webinar. I want to thank Logan for speaking to us, NRCS for funding this program, my colleagues here at the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service for producing and broadcasting the series. We hope everyone's enjoyed this presentation. Look forward to email and social media notifications for future topics on the Arkansas Conservation Partnership webinar series. We've got podcasts on these topics that are still in the works. They should be available soon. And again, feel free to reach out to Logan for any information about today's topic. And with that, I'll say thanks for attending, and I hope you have a great day.